We're not going to waste any time getting the rack this week. Check out my website, shortstoponpool.com. I want to say welcome to my newest supporters on YouTube, Franchise and Baba Ganesh. And we're going to play Nineball this week, so let's get into it.
Okay, it's about time for some Nineball instead of straight pool, so that's what we're doing this week. I've got a Nineball tournament coming up in August, and I'm going to the U.S. Open, so I've kind of got Nineball a little bit on my mind this summer. I play Nineball for the sole purpose of being able to play better straight pool. But I realize most of you like to play Nineball, and so we're going to talk about, I'll do a couple more racks of the week of Nineball in the coming weeks here. This is a live rack of the week. That means I'm not going to play Nineball for an hour and pick out my best rack to show you. You're going to see me miss a shot or make a mistake, and I'll probably set it up again and tell you why I made the mistake and how you can avoid that same mistake. Or we'll see. Maybe I'll run out from the break. So I'm going to shoot the break shot, and then after the break shot, I'm going to identify, is this rack runnable? There's a saying or a euphemism among 9-ball, 10-ball that says pros run out every rack they should and some of the ones that they shouldn't. And that's the nature of rotation games. When you come to the table, you look at it and you say, can I run this out? If yes, you go for it. If there's a trouble spot, you might say, well, I'll just play position for this ball to play a safety. So I'm going to identify whether or not I think I should run out the rack. And then I'll go ahead and run it out, and I'll keep trying. If I fail, I'll keep trying until I get there. So let's go. I've got the 9-ball racked on the spot the way the WNT does. And I haven't played hardly any 9-ball in years, and my break shot is terrible. And I haven't practiced the 9-ball style or the WNT style break at all. I've practiced it like 10 times. So I'm trying to make the one in the side, draw the cue ball to the side rail and back, possibly hit the 9-ball. Like I said, my break isn't good. But that doesn't matter. We're going to get the ball spread and see if we can run out. Okay, the 1 ball missed long. That means I didn't get enough draw on the shot to push the 1 ball forward enough from the carom off the next ball. Or it means I hit it too thin, not full enough. Obviously, I can't run out from here. I don't think anyone can. Maybe Efren can. But we're looking at ball in hand. So the question is, can I run this rack, or should I be able to run this rack with ball in hand? Which is the way many people play the Ghost. And the question about whether or not I can is determined by, does the 4 ball go by the 6? And it does. It's not a full pocket. It's half to 3/4 of a pocket, but it does go by the 6. So I'm going to say, yes, we're going to call it. This is the rack I'm going to run. Let me grab my playing cue. Make sure the microphone's working. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Okay. So how would you run this rack? 9-ball, compared to straight pool, it's very, very simple. Simple decision making. 9-ball is about getting on the right side of the ball to lead naturally to the next. And not just to the next ball, but to the correct angle for the ball after that. Danny DiLiberto would often say, you need to get an angle for an angle. Or an angle for an angle for an angle. So that's what it's about. So you're looking at connections. So it's not enough to say, oh, I can put the cue ball here and shoot the 1 and go here, and then I'm on the 2. That's fine. That's only step 1. How are you going to get from the 2 to the 3? You have to decide before you shoot the 1. You also have to decide how you're going to get from the 3 to the 4 before you shoot the 2 and maybe before you shoot the 1. So let's look at that. Obviously, the easiest positional route is to go this way because I'm not flirting with any of these other balls. And I don't have to play, if I play the 1 ball here and send my cue ball this way, I don't have to flirt with, maybe I'm going to end up behind the 9. Going this way, there's no way I end up behind these balls. I will have a shot on the 2. Okay. So, and I will have a cut to my left. It's not like I'm going to play it too hard and be on the other side. So from the 2, it's very natural to send the cue ball this way for the 3. So before you shoot the 1, you have to ask yourself, am I going to have a good enough shot on the 3 to get to the 4? Because the cue ball might come over here and lay on the rail. And now I've got a wing shot, and my cue ball is going to go towards the center of the table. So I'm flirting with getting behind the 7-8. If I'm straight, that's okay. I can probably draw it back a little bit, but I'm going to end up with a sharp angle wing shot on the 4, which is not the best. If I have this angle, that's ideal, because now you have a bounce shot, and you just bounce off the rail, and you can play your speed control, and you have a very large margin of error to get on the 4, to get on the 5. I don't need to go farther than that. I can already, these balls are open, there's no clusters, so we know that if we get on the 4, we can manage the rest, and we'll go through that thought process then. All I need to do now is identify 1, 2, 3, 4. Angle for an angle for an angle. Okay? So I'm committed to going this way. If I hit it too soft and the cue ball just stops here on this rail, I can still make the 2, but I'm reducing my odds of getting out because now I'm pretty thin on that 2. It's going to be hard to hold. So let's just make sure. So we're just making sure we always play position to the rail and then off a distance. So how far do I want to go off the rail? And here's 1 diamond off the rail. So I want to go at least 1 diamond. 2 is fine. I don't want to get behind these balls. So angle in, angle out means if I send the cue ball here, then the angle out is here. So if I go 1 diamond, I'm good. If I go 2 diamonds, I'm good. And there's no possibility of getting trapped behind any ball. The worst thing that could happen is if the cue ball comes over here and I end up elevated over the 7 and 8 to shoot the 2. But obviously, I've overthunk this. Everything I just said, you can process in like 2 seconds. But just to state the obvious. So I'm looking at this ball and I want to shoot a rolling cue ball. The less we manipulate the cue ball, the higher percentage our positional routes are. The tangent line, if the 1 ball's here, so the tangent line is here, the 90-degree line, a 30-degree rolling cue ball is going to be somewhere in this direction. So this is a good angle to roll the cue ball. Let's get my cue ball right there. And about a diamond off the rail. That's okay. So I like this because I have a kind of a sharp cut. In 9-ball, we can kind of fall into this mental trap where we're trying to get straight in all the time or close to straight in. And then you see players who are constantly hitting the ball hard. And that's because they got straight in and they have to force the angle. So notice that when you're watching the pros play, the best pros get angles so they roll the ball and hit it softly. Your shot making percentage goes up, the pocket gets bigger, you have more control over the cue ball. Okay. So obviously I'm going to hit bottom rail, side rail. And here's another example. You don't try and shoot the 2 ball and just float up here. We always play to the rail and off so we can get the proper angle. So I want to go foot rail, side rail. I want to miss the 3, hit this rail and come off. So angle in is going to be about here, angle out here. So I'm okay with getting way over here because I don't want to be straight in. Let's get over here so I have an angle. I hit that a little bit. No, yeah, I hit it a little soft. So I did 2 things. No, I didn't hit it too soft. I was a little bit nervous about coming too close to the 3. So instead of hitting the rail here, I hit up here. The speed was good. Had I hit the rail here at the same speed, my cue ball would be right here. Notice the difference. This is a small difference in cue ball position, but it's a large difference in angle. I'm very flat on this ball. So I need to hit that shot better so that I come over here and have more of an angle. Let's see if I can continue from here though. Yeah, so I'm really flat. So that makes this shot a lot harder. If I had more angle, then you just shoot it with a smooth draw and just pull the cue ball right out here. But I'm very flat, so I've got to hit this harder to get the cue ball to bounce off the rail. And then it's also hard because I can overhit this, have too much draw, and pull the cue ball right up here. Or I can, obviously hitting it harder, you can miss it because the pocket gets smaller. But I can also jam it off this rail and come over here or here. So I'm saying it's harder to control because you have to shoot the shot harder. So now we need to go angle for angle for angle. So obviously I'm shooting the 4 ball into a partial pocket. I don't want to shoot that 4 ball from way over here because it's a hard enough shot already. I only have a half to 3/4 of a pocket. So I really want to get the cue ball off the rail. I don't need to get here. Down here is fine. I just don't want to be way inside. I want this angle. So let's think about it. And you want to do this, especially when you're faced with a less than optimal shot, because it gives you a chance to take a couple deep breaths, settle your mind, and remove any doubt about what's going to happen later in the rack. Then when you come back to shoot the 3, you've got a plan and you're calmer. And now you can approach the 3 ball with 100% of your physical and mental energies. So with this angle, the rest is natural. Here's the shot line for the 4. I'm never going to get on this side of the shot line because I have such a shallow angle. So that means my cue ball is going to go this way off the 4. It's extremely natural to come over here, 5 in the side, and then the 6. From the 6, with this angle, you simply go to the rail and down, you're straight in on the 7. With the other angle, then you go 2 rails tight out of the corner. You shoot the 6, cue ball comes tight out of the corner over to this rail and off the rail, and you're straight in the 7 in the side. So now, of course, everything that I just said there will take you about 1 second to figure out when you're playing the game. But you take the time, don't just get down behind the 3. You walk over, you look at the 4, okay, yeah, all right. And then you walk over behind the 5 and you're like, oh yeah, okay, good. It gives you a chance to settle and then come over to the 3 ball with some composure. So now I know that it's more important to get the cue ball off the rail than it is to pull it back and get close to the 4. So that's what I'm going to be focused on doing. I'm not going to try and overdo this. I really want to make sure, because I'm going to hit this hard, I've got to aim for the outside of the pocket. Because if you aim for the center and you undercut it, you're going to hit the point and it'll rattle. If you aim for the outside and you overcut it a hair, it still has a good chance of going in. And this is why we shoot our drills like a couple times a week. You spend 15 minutes with an open table, with an open rack of balls, and just pounding them into the pockets. Because you learn to adjust for the lack of throw at high speed and the pocket being smaller. It trains you to really find center pocket. So if you've done that training and then you've composed yourself, you can approach this 3 ball. And let me compose myself and see if I can do this. Great. I just want you to see what a miss looks like. And I mentioned it before. I'm going to mention it again because this is why you have to play for an angle. Because if my cue ball was here, remember, it was only 5 inches away. If my cue ball was here, there's no way I'm missing that 3. And my cue ball comes off the rail a good distance for the 4 with little effort. It can be a mindset that's hard to overcome, but you've got to overcome it playing rotation games. You need an angle. Get an angle, get an angle. Do not get straight. Okay. So by all rights, if I want to show the proper way to run this rack, I need to set up the 2 ball again because that's where the mistake was made. And maybe I'll do that, but let me do this once more. You notice the ball rattled because even though I talked about it, I didn't compensate and I hit the point and it rattled. So it's a good example of what not to do. So let me try again. There we go. Now, look how far the cue ball came out when I hit it cleanly. Just saying. I really want to do it again. Do the 2-ball again just to show how important it is. So we'll look at this. The cue ball is a little bit below the 7, and it's way over here. And the 3-ball, well, I don't remember now, but it was pretty up high, like about up here. So when I shot the 2-ball, there was fear in the back of my mind that didn't want to hit the 2. Now, honestly, if you come off this rail and you do hit the 2-ball, you know, you often do this. I still have a shot. Or I still have a shot on the 3 to get on the 4. So I shouldn't be all that afraid of it. But obviously you don't want to bump the ball. If you think that you're not going to be able to go to the rail and off, then you've got to play it with inside English and try and avoid the 9. Now I have the angle. Yeah, now I have plenty of angle to easily come out here. This one I'm never going to miss. So that was a little bit of left English, just to straighten the angle off the rail, and then playing speed control to come above the 3. Even if you hit it too soft and you're here, you can still float that in. You could also shoot it in and bump the 8, but you have options, is the point. Okay. But if I want to come... So now I'm trying to go to the rail. Yeah, so that's the second time that I've hit that bad. Well, I didn't hit it, well, I did overcut it and I hit it kind of bad. I definitely have more angle, but I still got to hit this one pretty hard. If you notice, I'm spinning the cue ball a lot. And that's, you know, the closer to center that you can stay, the better off you're going to be. Let me not hit so much right English and just a little bit below center instead, and just a little bit of right English. Yeah. That's awful because I have that shallow angle and I'm bridged over these balls. So I'm more curious for my own edification here. Maybe left English is the way to go, because obviously I've tried like 5 times and I haven't gotten the proper angle. There it is. So that's what I was hoping to do from the start. Come close to the 3, then you come out a good distance and you have the angle. Okay. So I could play I could put the cue ball back here and shoot, but I just want to demonstrate that from here I can smooth this ball in. I don't have to pound it to get the cue ball off the rail. Because of that, I can pull it back and get closer as well. I almost hit it too hard. So you see, I just want to make the point. Just a little bit different angle makes a huge difference. Angle for an angle for an angle. Very important. I'm going to shoot the easier one. Obviously, this is easier because I don't have to do anything with the cue ball. I just pull it back a little and I'm on the 5. In 9-ball, when we get the cue ball in line, we can get overconfident the same way we do in straight pool, and then go from the 3 and just run over here and shoot the 4. I urge you to develop a habit of never doing that. After you shoot the 3, the very next step is to look at the 5. Because I need to go from the 4 to the 5 to the 6. Angle for an angle for an angle. So if I just stop the cue ball on the 4, I'm determining that to shoot the 6, my cue ball is going to be over here because I've got to... And so now I've got to play this longer route to get on the 7. So you see how the 7 ball, your shot on the 7 is affected by what you do with the 4, 3 shots earlier. So I would prefer to be on this side of the shot line to the 6, so I just do this to get on the 7. In order to do that, the shot line to the 5, I need to be on this side of the 5, or straight. So that means I don't want to just shoot a stop shot, I want to do this. So don't walk from the 3 to the 4, you walk from the 3 to the 5, then to the 4. Now you know why. Now I'm on the correct side of the 5. And if I come too far, that's okay. The reason is, if I err on the other side of the shot line too far, now I'm either going to have to shoot a long 5 in the corner or send the cue ball 2 rails like this to get on the 6. If I'm on this side of the 5 but I'm too far, I'm still on the same end of the table. So now I can do something else. So I'm a little bit too far, but I'm too far on the correct side. And that's what makes 9-ball simpler than other games. If you stay on the right side, you're usually still going to be okay. So the decision here is, I know where I want to be on the 6. I want to be on this side of the shot line to the 6. I want to be on this side. So either go to the rail and back with inside spin, or draw the cue ball to this rail and down. Or you could go 3 rails, but I don't recommend that. If you go tight in this corner and then over here and off, now you've got that angle where you have to go 2 rails around for the 7. So I like a shot here where you're not shooting with finesse. I could shoot the 5 in the side with a lot of right English to check the cue ball off that rail and try and stay on this side of the 6. The problem is I'm using a lot of spin opposite to the cut of the shot. I'm cutting to the right plus right English. Those two things are fighting each other. So I could mishit it. I could undercut the 5 or overcut it. I could also misstroke it, and the cue ball goes to here and checks, and now my cue ball's here to shoot the 6, and we don't want that. So the correct thing to do, if you can't just shoot the 5 and just hold the cue ball right here, or if you have any doubt at all about being able to hold the cue ball, then the decision is let it slide, because that you're never going to mess up. The other reason is this: cutting a ball to the right, the cue ball is going to pick up contact-induced spin. So my cue ball is going to leave the 5 with a little bit of left spin. Even if I shoot on the center of the cue ball picks up contact-induced spin. Well, what does left spin do when the cue ball hits this rail? It checks it and brings it straight down rather than going that way. And that's what I want. So that's the correct decision. Now I'm on the right side of the 6. I'm too thin. I'm thinner than I wanted to be. I was talking about being here so I could go 1 rail right into the position zone for the 7. But once again, even though I'm too thin, because I'm on the correct side of the ball, I'm okay. Because the natural path of the cue ball is diagonally across the table, to the rail, off the rail, straight in the side. So a lot of people will go like this, 7 in the side. And they'll look at this point on the rail, and then their subconscious mind sends the cue ball off this rail and hits that point on the rail, and then the cue ball goes down here. And you have that shot on the 7. So you've got to remember, no, I want to be here, but in order to get here, I have to hit here on the rail. Notice too, I'm not drawing the ball. Anytime we can roll the ball, instead of stroking it, our control goes up, pocket gets smaller, more pocketing percentage goes up. So, to the rail, off the rail, that way I'm never shooting with my cue ball right on the rail, and I'm always playing to the correct angle. From here, it should be pretty obvious, but once again, what's the very first thing you do after shooting the 6 ball? Look at the 8 ball. I don't need to look at the 8 ball here. Everyone already knows what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll forward, shoot the 8 here, and then I'll either draw back or slide over here and shoot the 9. It's so easy. It's so simple. Let me not say easy. It's simple. This is what we want in straight pool for our end patterns. Stop, stop, stop. It's just simple, simple, simple. And you can get this in 9-ball, fantastic. But you have to do the same thing in 9-ball that you do with straight pool. Never take it for granted. Take a deep breath. You just shot the 6. Go look at the 8. Even though it's this simple. I'm going to call it, there's a one pro, all the pros do it, but there's one pro that I've seen to do it more than any other. And 9-ball, playing 9-ball. Allison Fisher. Never takes it. There's no way Allison Fisher is ever going to miss these balls. She gets out from here 100% of the time. She can do it left-handed probably. She can do it with her eyes closed. She still walks over and looks. Because if you under-roll this and your cue ball's over here, now you've got to draw your cue ball this way and you have a tougher shot of the 9 or send it forward. You've got to come over here and look and go, oh, okay, because I need to error. Here's the shot line. Remember, angle for an angle for an angle. Here's the shot line. I need to error on this side of the shot line. Don't get straight in. Straight in's okay, but you don't want to be on this side. So make sure you get here, because then you just roll it in and you're on this side to shoot the 9 there. Pros make it look simple, but they make it simple by putting in this work between shots. Okay. Now I'm over here, and now I have a much more concrete idea in my mind of where the cue ball is going. And I'm going to shoot the 7 just to the right side of the pocket. Not all the way, just a little bit to the right side. And that determines that my cue ball is going to go this way. And I don't get too close to the 8. And that way I ensure I'm on the right side of the 8 ball. So all my talking, I overdid it and I've come too far. Once again, if I messed up on the wrong side of the 8 ball, now my cue ball has to go up table and down and it's a much tougher shot. But I'm on the correct side of the 8 ball and my cue ball stays down table. So obviously I'd rather be here. You just roll forward, shoot the 9. But from here, I've got 2 very good possibilities. One is simply to go to the bottom rail and just like the 5 ball, contact to do spin, right spin, we'll straighten the cue ball up and bring it straight back up. However, I think almost all of your pros, if they get this angle, are going to go 3 rails to the 9. And the reason why is it's natural to come tighter in this corner. If it comes tighter in that corner, then it's coming close to the 9 when it comes this way, as opposed to coming over here, which is a distance from the 9. Now it's hard to get into the right spot. But when I'm coming out of that corner closer to the 9, then when I come off the rail, boom, I'm on the 9. That's the most foolproof route. If I try to jam the cue ball to the bottom rail and come up, I could stop here. Or my cue ball could go way up here. Okay? But if I hit the speed on coming 3 rails, I've got a shot here, shot here, shot here, shot here, shot here. It's just much more forgiving. It's just really hard to mess up. It's almost as predictable as if my cue ball was here and all I had to do is roll forward 5 inches. 9-ball shot, super easy. Everybody knows they're going to make this. But here's the thing. How many times do you see a pro shoot this 9-ball hard and the cue ball hits the back of the pocket? Compared to how many times do you see a pro shoot this 9-ball and roll it in so the 9-ball falls off the edge and does not hit the back of the pocket? Which one's better? I'll give you my opinion, but I'm not going to say it's right. You give me your opinion. Obviously, in practice, none of us are going to miss this 9-ball. But we've seen some pros miss this shot. Why is that? The pressure of the moment, and the pressure makes our process deteriorate. That's what makes playing 9-ball under tournament conditions hard, or gambling, just pressure conditions. When you're practicing, there's no consequences. But it's hill for the U.S. Open. How are you going to shoot this 9-ball? In my opinion, there's no one correct answer. You need to shoot it with the stroke that suits you the most, your personal style. I think shooting it really hard, I think shooting anything above a 5 out of 10 in speed is wrong. But a 4 and a 5 speed, the cue ball is going to hit the back of the pocket. You can shoot it at a 1, 2, 3 speed and roll it in as well. Whatever to you feels like confidence. Okay? So that's the second part. Remember I said, if you're shooting the 5, after you shoot the 5, the next step is to look at the 7. After you shoot the 6, the next step is to look at the 8. So what do you do with the 9? After you shoot the 8, don't do what I did. I stood here, I shot the 8, I stood here, and I watched the cue ball roll here, and then go like this and shoot the 9. No. You're going to stand here and watch that 8 ball come this way. There's nothing wrong with going over here and doing this. And you're getting another perspective on the angle. Everyone thinks, oh, he's looking at the angle. Why is he looking at the angle? It's a super easy shot. What's the big deal? I am looking at the angle. You know what else I'm doing? 2 breaths. And I'm saying in my mind, I got this. This is a shot I know. Calming, positive talk. Calm, positive talk. That is how you prevent yourself from dogging the shot that you're supposed to make. So I've looked at the angle, and now I'm walking over here. So instead of standing in one place like a statue, all of your thoughts and everything can get compressed and tied together. But if you walk over and look, now you've used your legs to move, your large muscles, and you're moved. And so everything remains free in your shot process. Rather than abbreviating the beginning of your shot process, now your shot process is like what every other shot. You walk over, you've looked at it from the other side, you look at it from here, you look at it from behind the cue ball, and now I'm not way up here. I'm back here the way I always am for my shot process. Start with your right foot, step in, and you don't have to play position, but we do want to plan for the cue ball. So that's about a 4-stroke for me, and that's what to me feels the most confident. And before I shot it, I knew with a very slight angle, my cue ball is going to stun this way like about a foot or so. So don't just shoot it trying to make the 9. You shoot it like every other shot. Every shot has 2 components, object ball, cue ball. Don't make the 9-ball any different. You must make a decision for the 9-ball. Maybe it's a stop shot. That's fine. Then make that decision. Then there's nothing left to doubt in your mind when you shoot the ball. There we go. I made a mistake. I did not get out because of this rail shot. And that's a trivial mistake, and I need to be playing a lot more 9-ball in the coming weeks if I want to perform adequately at the Phoenix Open in August. So wish me luck. I'll be playing a lot more 9-ball, and we'll probably do some more of these for Racks of the Week. See you next week on Rack of the Week. Bye. Okay.